Hey guys, today I'm going to talk about how to launch a version of OpenWebUI using the Morpheus API gateway that connects to the Morpheus Compute node. So first, I'm just showing here the OpenWebUI website. They have a ton of documentation, but I'm going to walk you through one of the simplest setups for it. So using AWS EC2. So here I already am logged into EC2. Clicked launch a new instance, and we're just going to get started by naming it. We'll name it OpenWebUI test one. And here, what you're going to do is you're going to use the Amazon Linux quick start. You'll choose an instance size based on how many users you're going to have. But for now, we'll use the T2 medium. That should be sufficient for at least what we're testing today. You can definitely go through the OpenWebUI Discord or some of their other documentation to see what instance sizes are required for different applications or different numbers of users. Um, I'm not going to go through all the details of how to set something up in AWS EC2, but essentially you need to create a key pair so that you're able to either SSH into the instance or use the Amazon EC2 Connect. The next one is your network settings in your security groups. So I have a bunch of security groups, but we'll just choose the Web UI one. And I can show you exactly what those settings are once we launch this instance. It's pretty much, since this is just a test, it's pretty much wide open, if I remember correctly. We could take a look. And for storage, same thing. Look at their documentation. We're going to use 32 gigabytes of memory, which is enough for some simple stuff and for some simple document uploads when we get there. That's what we'll use for now. So let's launch this instance. We'll just click on the instance to get into it. Again, click on the instance ID. And while this is booting up, it's actually running already, but we'll take a quick look at the security. So the ports that we opened up are 3000 to anyone, so anyone can access this UI. There's some user authentication in the back end, and then I opened up port 8080 to 8082 and 22 for my personal IP addresses. So let's go back and connect to the instance. We're just going to use EC2 Connect for simplicity here. All right, and now we're in. So to start, let's just do a basic update of the system. We'll just do a update. I'm sure it's updated recently, so we might not have much here. Okay, let's install Docker. All right, so Docker's up and running. Let's just put a simple service around Docker, or at least start the Docker service, and let's just check it's running. All right, it's running. So now we are going to pull in the OpenWebUI Docker file. So I'll put this in the instructions, but you're just going to do a Docker pull of the file location that they have. Let's pull this. I think this file alone is about 6 or 7 gigabytes, so that's why we needed a little higher than we usually need on the instance memory side. All right, so the image was pulled. Now we're going to use a Docker run command. And this one is a little bit more intricate, but it still follows a simple format. Um, the environment variables that you can input here are all within the OpenWebUI docs page, which I will link. What we're doing here is we are setting WebUI off. So that's essentially saying that you have to log in before you're able to access the page. The second thing we're doing is we're saying that we're using an OpenAI API here instead of running local compute through our GPU. We're entering the API key and the API base URL. The base URL being api.more.org/api/v1. And the last two are just where are the data being stored and what's the name of the Docker that we're pulling from. And I'll include this command in the docs. And we'll just run that. We'll see that the container ID spit out there. That's going to take a second to start up, but while it's starting up, I'll show you how we access it. So if we go back to our instance details, if you didn't assign an elastic IP, which we didn't for this particular one, then we'll use the IP that was assigned to it. For anything in production, we're definitely going to want to assign an elastic IP so that it doesn't change over time when it's restarted or any other circumstance. But for testing, we can just use the one that's assigned. So let's copy this. We're going to go to a new window and we're going to put in the IP and we're just going to also add the port. We're going to port 3000 for this. So you'll see, similar to their homepage, this homepage came up and we're just going to click Get Started. And this is the admin account. So we're going to start this with my email and password. Oops. We'll create that admin account. I don't think we need to read their recent updates. But you can see already that this chat interface is live. We'll see that the chat interface actually called the models endpoint and populated all the models that are available within the Morpheus Compute node. Just take the default model that we have, which is the Mistral model, and we'll say, tell me about AI. And what this is doing right now is it's actually creating a session on the back end in the Morpheus ecosystem for this API key that we used. And we talk all about the API keys in a different video, but for this API key, we have automation enabled, so we don't have to go and create a session. The sessions automatically get created when we call a chat completion request against this API key. So in the back end right here, we sent the request, it created the session, it sent the chat completion request, and it output this directly into the OpenWebUI interface. And you'll see this outputs some data. A couple important things to know here is, one, OpenWebUI has hundreds and hundreds of settings, and you can see through the controls here whether these are LLM settings. You can see through the settings tab. Let me find it. Through the settings tab that you can really change a lot of things within the interface, within the account and admin settings, how you authenticate users and allow users to submit. You can add different functions and tool calls if you like. And I believe there's even some MCP connections in here that you can enable as well. It's a really flexible platform. You can change the URL if you want to put this to your own domain address. Really a great product to be able to bring a web interface to your users with your data, with anything that you really prefer. Another thing that is available here that I'm not going to go through is documents and knowledge bases. There's an embedding function here that you can connect to either OpenAI or whatever embedding URL that you choose, and really create a full-scale RAG and create a full-scale knowledge base within this. So, uh, looking forward to users getting on this, integrating with OpenWebUI, and bringing AI to everyone. So feel free to reach out in our Discord or through any of our channels to get more information and help. And good luck. Thanks, guys.